What if I told you that a monastery founded over 1500 years ago has been training the human mind in a way modern neuroscience or psychology is only beginning to catch up to? And what if the teacher about to share this wisdom isn't offering motivation or self-help, but a radically different way of relating to discomfort, discipline, and reality itself? Most people think discipline changes the mind, but Shaolin training shows something very different. In the next few minutes, you'll discover what your mind is really doing under pressure, how your thoughts and reactions shape your daily experience, and simple ways to shift patterns so you can feel steadier, clearer, and more capable in your life. This isn't about meditation retreats or escaping the world. It's about a shift in perception that changes how you experience effort, resistance, and clarity. What you're about to hear isn't just philosophy. It's a way of training attention to respond differently to stress, discomfort, and uncertainty. Change doesn't happen someday. It begins here, with this breath, this moment. And once you see this, personal transformation stops being a struggle and starts becoming a matter of training in how you meet each moment. As you're listening, notice what your body is doing right now. Is there tension somewhere? A slight tightness? An ache? Maybe even one you hadn't noticed until now? That's where Shi Heng Yi and the Shaolin teaching actually begins. The brain doesn't change through willpower. It changes through repeated, embodied attention under challenge. Pause for a moment and notice your body as you take this in. Most people hear this next part and think they already understand it. That assumption is exactly what keeps the pattern running and keeps you stuck. Think about it. Right now, as you're listening to this, thoughts are popping up in your mind without your permission. See if this feels familiar in your own life. Maybe you're thinking about something you need to do later, or remembering a conversation from earlier today. You didn't consciously choose these thoughts. They just appeared. This is happening to everyone, all the time. But most people are completely unconscious of this process. Now here's the mind-bending part. Shi Heng Yi reveals that most of our suffering doesn't come from what's actually happening in our lives. It comes from our thoughts about what's happening. Imagine you're sitting in a room right now, not starving, not in physical pain, with no immediate threats. Technically, there's no reason to suffer, but your mind could still be replaying an argument you had yesterday, creating real emotional pain from something that only exists in your thoughts. This can feel subtle at first, but it's the heart of the practice. Instead of controlling thoughts, observe them without getting caught. You become the director of your own movie instead of an actor in a drama you didn't write. But here's what's really fascinating, and this is where the 24-hour transformation becomes possible. Shi Heng Yi explains that most people live their entire lives completely identified with their thoughts and emotions. When anger or fear arises, thoughts like, "I can't handle this," appear automatically. It's like when someone cuts you off in traffic and your body reacts before you've had a single conscious thought. So it's look at this carefully. Insight alone doesn't create freedom. What if, instead, you could step back and observe these states without becoming them? This is how the approach and the water metaphor become useful. Imagine your mind as perfectly still water. Every time you react to something you like by trying to pull it toward you, or react to something you dislike by trying to push it away, you create ripples in that water. These ripples are what create the chaos and suffering in your life. If this image feels simple, try not to dismiss it. Missing what it points to is the reason people stay reactive even after years of practice. Pause for a moment. Notice the next thought that appears, without following it. Just notice it. And then, let it go. The Shaolin secret is learning to not touch the water. This doesn't mean becoming passive or indifferent. It means developing the awareness to choose your responses instead of being controlled by automatic reactions. This is where the martial arts aspect becomes essential. It's not just about physical fitness, it's about developing sensitivity to energy, to the subtle shifts in your internal state. When you become aware of these early warning signs, you can address imbalances before they become overwhelming emotions or destructive behaviors. Here's where this gets really interesting. You don't need specialized martial arts training to access this kind of transformation. This embodied approach can emerge through many pathways that connect mind and body in harmony. Movement practices like yoga, dance, sports, hiking. What matters isn't the form. The key insight is this: real change happens when practice engages your whole being, not just your thinking mind. The ancient Shaolin masters understood something modern culture often misses. Transformation doesn't come from analysis alone. It emerges through practices that involve the entire nervous system, creating new patterns of response. It's like how you automatically adjust your balance when walking on uneven ground. You don't think your way into stability. Your body knows. This embodied awareness creates what the Shaolin tradition calls inner stability. And when this quality develops in you, something changes. You become responsive rather than reactive, flexible rather than rigid. Through consistent embodied practice, movement, breath, voice, or attention, you're literally rewiring your nervous system. New pathways form, old reactions loosen, presence becomes more available than panic, and the shift becomes unmistakable when this awareness begins to operate automatically in daily life. You're in a difficult conversation and notice your shoulders tightening before emotion takes over. You're facing a deadline and sense your breath speeding up before stress spirals. You're meeting uncertainty and feel anxiety beginning, but it doesn't consume you. Thoughts and emotions still arise, but they no longer disturb your core sense of stability. You can feel anger without becoming an angry person, uncertainty without losing your center. This transformation isn't about eliminating difficulty. It's about changing your relationship to it. Every time you pause to feel your body during stress, you train this capacity. Every time you notice a thought without following it, you strengthen it. The Shaolin secret isn't complicated, but it does require engagement. Like learning any skill, it grows through repetition. And unlike many skills, the benefits begin immediately. So begin where you are, move with intention, breathe with awareness. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to fix yourself. You only need to notice the water and choose not to disturb it. The stillness you're seeking is already here, beneath the surface of your busy mind. If you want guided support, explore the resources below. Short guided exercises to strengthen your observer skill. Start today, even with 5 minutes. True strength isn't about controlling what happens. It's about maintaining inner freedom. This is your birthright. What will you choose to do with it in the next 24 hours? Notice, breathe, observe, and we'll see you in the next video.